Hey guys, it's Michael Head. It's been a while since I've made a video, and I just decided to come in and do some quick thoughts because I just watched the Blackmagic Live announcement of the Ursa Mini Pro 12K, and my first question is, who exactly is this camera for? I shoot primarily on the Pocket 4K and the 6K for commercial and narrative work, and I love it. I think they're fantastic cameras. I'd love to shoot on the Ursa Mini Pro G2 with the higher frame rates and the better dynamic range. So who exactly is the 4K, the 12K made for? We do have to think about the influence that Blackmagic has had on the pro level and prosumer level markets. With Blackmagic introducing cameras at such a low cost, other manufacturers were forced to follow. Canon, Panasonic, they all started producing cameras in the sub $15,000 and $10,000 range. Even Red is now making a $6,000 6K camera. So Blackmagic is taking this odd step in the other direction to a 12K camera. I need to look into it more and look at more of the specs. Some interesting things about the announcement is they didn't say what the dynamic range is. I found that rather interesting that they didn't publish that, or they didn't announce it. I'm sure it's very similar to the Ursa Mini Pro 4.6K G2. They did announce a new color science, which is really cool. Better highlight roll-off is always a good thing. The images that they showed were really quite good. The skin tones, the quality were pretty impressive for what they offered, or at least the samples that they showed. They did say they're going to be sending out to high-end DPs at first to get their feedback on it. I don't know if that's going to influence the actual hardware, but I'm sure it might have some playback on the color science and the software. So probably John Brawley already has one, which is awesome. Can't wait to see some sample footage from this in the real world. No trees. Please, guys, don't shoot tree footage. But it's interesting. They seem to be aiming at a higher end market by launching it with a PL mount. You have to buy the EF mount separate, and having such high resolution images. I've already looked a little bit at it, and they do have different compression rates. So it's not just limited to Q0 and Q5. You have Q1 and Q3, which I'm curious why they didn't highlight that a little more. But for the most part, my understanding of high-end special effects work is it's kind of dependent on Cinema DNG. This is going to be interesting to see how this high resolution compressed format fits into those workflows. Blackmagic has been used on big films. A lot of them have been used as crash cams, for example, in Avengers Age of Ultron. They used the original Pocket Cam as a crash cam in Captain Marvel. I know they used the Pocket 4K as to shoot the flashback sequences. So it's very interesting to see Blackmagic take this step into much higher pixels, but still not a big touch in price. The $10,000 is still there. The Ursa Mini G2 is still at $6,000, and the Pocket, of course, the 6K is $2,000, the 4K is $1,300. So still really fantastically priced for the cameras. But I'm kind of curious what's going to happen with it. I don't think it's for the same market as the G2. That seems to be kind of high-end commercial and, not even high-end commercial and some indie narrative work. I don't know if lower-end indies are going to have the budget to deal with 12K files. They do have the option for shooting different resolutions. It wasn't clear to me if they crop in when you shoot, for example, 8K versus 12K. And also nobody delivers 12K. I think YouTube has an 8K option, but I don't think anybody has 12K right now. But downsampling is always a good thing, in my opinion. So I don't know. It's a very interesting choice. I think they're aiming for the Netflix market. But there's a reason a lot of cameras, a lot of producers, indies, etc. still shoot on Alexas, because Alexa never chased bigger resolutions. They wanted quality pixels over more pixels. Alexa's just recently came out with announcements for I think it's a 4.5K Alexa mini size, Super 35 camera. It's a 4K camera, and that's aimed right at the Netflix market, and it's still going to be an Alexa camera, which is going to be awesome. But I've seen, and a lot of the images I'm getting out of my Pocket in the 6K, they're really good. I don't think they're exactly the same as the Alexa, but at the same time, unless you're doing a severe pixel peeping, you're not really going to tell much of a difference. My opinion, I know other people feel different about that. You don't have to agree with me. Tear me up in the comments, whatever. But it's interesting. I'm excited to see what happens with this. I want to see more sample footage. Would I, if I had the money right now, would I choose between the 12K and the 6K? I'm not entirely sure. I need more information about the 12K to see what happens. I really want to see the Gen 5 color science come down to their cameras, the G2, hopefully the Pocket 6K and the 4K. We'll see how that works out. But it's interesting. It's an interesting time to be alive with all these cameras coming out and really good prices for what you're getting. So this has been Michael Head. Thank you for your time, just my thoughts, and we'll see you guys later.